for a long time, our music had been relegated to dingy bars.
Okay.
Now, the last tour Sauti Sol did was iconic for us because it took our music now to these venues.
Okay.
But those shows were still on
Madaraka
weekends,
Festival.
The Madaraka Festival.
Yes.
Yeah, shout out to Saimo. Because he took a gamble and we took those shows to proper music venues.
Yes.
Now the next step is to turn our touring business into an everyday business and bring our shows to Wednesdays, to Thursdays. And Seattle is the first to sell out and it's on a Monday.
So Apple, you know, this is quite interesting.
And we have to start consuming our music the same way other cultures consume their music, where it is part of their lives. They don't go to concerts to get drunk. They go to experience art.
Wow.
Yeah. Investing in people. Like an investment in the right people in your tour is an investment in yourself as an artist. And you're going to see things changing, especially for our community. The quality of musicians that there are in Kenya right now are not going to sing for you in
bars.
No, I'm just saying in environments
that
are not very professional. Like if you look at Kodong Clan, they play live. Everybody on that roster is a live musician.
Yep. Yeah.
The musician of the now is a live musician. So let's not take them back. You know, and let me tell you something, man. The kids who are coming to do this shit in a way we've never seen.
To all music lovers across diaspora, I want you to buckle up because tonight the OneMicShow is hosting one of the most magnetic, genre-bending, and lyrically lethal voices ever to come out of the eastern shores of Africa. Now, he's not just an artist, he's a movement by himself. You know him as one-fourth of Africa's most iconic boy band, Sauti Sol. But tonight we welcome him as a solo act who's rewriting the rules of Afro-pop and rumba. He's the voice behind anthems like Melanin, Short and Sweet, Mbwembwe, and more recently, Safari, that has been ruling the airwaves. He's graced stages from Kigali to Coachella, and his pen game is so cold, he's written for international acts that went on to win Grammys. His North American tour kicks off tomorrow right here in Washington, D.C.'s iconic Howard Theater. It then heads to Boston, New York, Atlanta, Cincinnati, Minneapolis, Dallas, and crowns it all in Seattle, Washington. Now, for dates and tickets, please visit dukeconcept.com/bien. For dates and tickets, please visit dukeconcept.com/bien. All this will be compressed within 12 days. So please, you want to make sure you get your tickets right now before they sell out. Now, his latest album, Alusa, Why Are You Topless, is a raw and poetic genre-fusing his body of work. It's a bold, it's bare, and it's also bien at his best. And for the diaspora fam who might still recall him as the lead singer of Sauti Sol, he's now flying solo. But don't get it twisted, because the stages are now bigger and the sound is even bolder. So without much further ado, let's give it up for the performer, the poet, the unapologetic heartbreaker, steaming like water vapor. Bien, karibu sana. Karibu to the OneMicShow. How are you feeling today?
Whoa, man, what an intro.
Karibia your mic.
What an intro. Thank you.
Aya, karibu sana. Now, you've been in DC for the past, I think, couple of days.
Yeah.
DC kukoaje? Najua leo kumekuwa na mvua kidogo, but how do you feel?
But I came, I think, Wednesday. Today is Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday.
I came on Sunday.
Okay.
And it's just been so beautiful. The weather has been amazing.
Okay.
I did the very touristy things. I went to the White House.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, because I was like, I had a day off. And I was like, tusema tu kweli. Sijaona hii White House. Acha niende niangalie nione wenye nakaa.
Oh, interesting.
So I took a walk. It was a nice walk, refreshing. And, the weather's beautiful.
Okay.
The people are so friendly.
Okay. You didn't randomly meet a Kenyan?
I was in the park, sitting on a bench. And there was a guy who, these like scooter things that people have here.
Yes.
And like a bunch of, like two guys just randomly happened to be Kenyan, happened to be on scooters in the park.
Okay. Angalia
so
sasa.
And then I met a Tanzanian girl to
okay.
But it's been peaceful.
Okay.
Yeah, no one knows who I am here.
Oh, si kama nyumbani.
Yeah, and I love it. Yeah, I'm enjoying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that so that means maybe you should be visiting us more often and upate your peace pia kidogo.
Definitely.
Yeah. Now, Bien, someone was recently telling me Bien is one of those artists who has this bad habit of reaching unreachable audiences?
Reaching
unreachable audiences, yes. He has a bad habit of doing that. Now recently, umefikia wa Somali with your song Safari. So, yani, how was it? Ulikakaaje, ukafikiria, leo mimi nataka kufikia wa Somali. And ukawafikia. Because this song, there's a very big Somali community here. And they all have been jamming to this song.
Oh, that's a blessing, man. You know, I'll be honest, I didn't think to reach out to Somalis.
Yes.
Sudan is my friend.
Okay.
And in being friends, we just thought it would be nice to do a song together.
Yes. Okay.
That unites our people. You know, it's very important for the Somali community to know that they are part of us.
Uh-huh.
And I
Correct.
feel like in how we live our lives,
yes,
it's always been us and them.
Kabisa.
Yeah, not against, but us and then them. You know.
Yeah.
So I think music is the first step we take in integration.
Uh-huh.
And also they have been used in current politics.
Kabisa.
In a very bad way.
Mambo ya siasa.
Kama mambo ya siasa wametumika vibaya, na mimi nataka watu waone hapana, relationship yetu na Somali ndio backbone ya country yetu.
Okay.
Hiyo unity.
Okay.
Na region yetu actually.
That is so amazing. You know, I actually never expected that, but it's very interesting that you put it out there. I personally grew up in South Sea.
Okay.
Nilikuwaga nikienda madrasa pale South Sea.
That's Somali Central.
Yes, and that's Somali Central. At that time ndo alikuwa ameanza kuingia wengi. And I remember, you know, like sometimes, you know, like even tukitoka madrasa tumevaa kanzu na kofia, so someone cannot tell who's Somali and who's not. And just the treatment that sometimes they would get, comments you start hearing from the other side. So it's very interesting that you bring that up, because music is one of those things that for some reason just brings Kenyan together.
Yes.
Hata mkwe mulikosana wapi, mulikuwa mulifanya na nini, music just brings people together. So hii safari, hii ngoma Safari, ilikuwa ni safari ya kutoka Sauti Sol kwenda kwa Bien, ama ni safari ya kwenda wapi?
Ni safari yoyote yani ambayo mnasikiza. It's the journey of life. And in anything, you know, everybody in this room is on a different journey.
Yeah.
But we are praying for journey masses.
Okay.
For the journey of life.
Okay.
And I think we're just speaking a blessing into our lives.
Okay.
And where we're going, you know, we don't know where we're going, but
we are headed somewhere.
Yeah, and we're praying for the best.
So yeye ikuwa ti safari ya kutoka Sauti Sol. So we still expect in future, I mean right now it's Bien, but in future we still expect to see Sauti Sol on stage.
Definitely, man.
Okay.
Yeah, we did that. We have a festival that had 20,000 people.
Nice.
December Soul Fest.
Yeah.
And we had Sauti Sol on stage.
I honestly think it was more than 20,000.
Okay.
I mean,
Mika hiyo ni ile festival uliniacha.
Yeah, those are the tickets I sold. You know, like and then also there's people who just now did the thing.
Yeah.
But
that thing is huge.
It's massive, and you know, it's something that we've built together. We've built multiple businesses together.
Okay.
That we have a ticketing company called Hustle Sasa that also is an ecosystem for the youth when they're doing business.
Okay.
We have very many other things that we do together besides just sing. So the singing part might be on pause, but other parts of the
Wherever you guys, your relationship is just beyond
it's
music.
Intact. We are so good, yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah. Polycarp has a guitar line now called Jawaya.
Nice.
And I'm the new brand ambassador for Jawaya. So I've come on tour to America with Polycarp's guitar. He's, you know.
Kwa hivyo you guys are doing
umebeba hiyo guitar.
You guys are doing multiple side businesses.
That's of course.
Okay.
Yeah, like, you know, music gives you the brand and then you build beyond that, man. And it's just been a good journey building together. We have a board. Sauti Sol has a board. Our board looks over our affairs. The chairman of our board is Kuria Mushiru, who is also the chairman of Britain.
So kwa hivyo Sauti Sol is a business. Besides being a band, it's a business.
It's a
conglomerate.
As DJ amesema.
Hizo za Wajaluo hizo hapo.
Conglomerate. What do you mean, boy?
Yeah. Okay, aya, sawa. Now, I want to take this time to introduce the rest of the panel. Of course, mshawasikia, Mika yuko kwa panel, DJ Moshfire yuko kwa panel. Maybe let me get started with Mika hapo kando. What's your expectation of this tour? Because this tour kuna vile watu wameingoja. You know, like kuna vile watu wameingoja. We don't want to say for how long, but people have been waiting for this tour for a very long time, because it's been a while since the last time we saw Bien, who was performing with Sauti Sol. It was during the pandemic. I think it was during 22 ama ni 23, I don't even remember. But I remember it was at the height of the pandemic.
No, it wasn't at the height of the pandemic. It was 2023. Pandemic ilikuwa no, kwa kichwa ya Ali, bado ilikuwa pandemic.
No, bado ilikuwa pandemic. Bado watu walikuwa wanavaa mask.
It's true.
Bado watu walikuwa wanavaa mask.
Walikuwa wanavaa mask by choice.
Yeah, so Yes, because you could visibly see hata ukienda hapo nje, because kuna picha tulipiga hapo nje hiyo huko Echo Stage, and people had masks. Kwa hivyo, like ilikuwa imeisha, let's call it pandemic light.
Yeah, pandemic light basi tunaweza sema, but for me I want to say welcome to America again.
Thank you
and thank you for giving us this, gracing us with your presence. I really appreciate it. What I expect from this tour is that the festival that he calmly said we had 20,000 people, the way that he calmly said it, I remember I told you guys, this is the best festival I've been to.
Ulisema.
This is the best.
In fact, you're tweeting, I was very mad at you when you
I
was like, I was mad.
And I was like, I've been to Summertides, I was like,
Mika uliniacha.
There was something about it, and that is what I hope. Not I hope, I know it's going to come out when we come here, because this is the first time we're having a Kenyan artist at the Howard Theatre, right?
Yeah, we've never had one. Actually, wow. I think the last time Ali we were at Howard,
it was Yemi Alade performed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was Yemi Alade performed. And that was so many years ago.
Yeah. So with that, I see a breakthrough whereby, and it's who's better than Bien to do it, to break it up for Kenyan acts that are following after.
Correct.
To be able to, what people should stop. Artists are no longer going to small bars, hole in the walls, and let an artist do a show that is at a befitting venue and at a befitting time. Si kufanyisha msanii kazi saa 8 usiku. Pia amechoka, nitakupumzika, nitakuendelea na life. So basically, this is what, as in, it's just a kicking off of that, and which I believe you're the right person to do it.
Thank you.
And then one of the things that Ali said, that Bien has a knack of reaching unexpected market, is that another knack that I've had so many people say, and I agree with it, is that Bien has a knack of upstaging you on your song. Yeah, it's your song. you future him, and
yani unasema amekaribishwa lakini yeye ndiye anakula ugali.
Mwenye ngoma akwangi na shine kama mwenye ameleka, but the other thing is that's the talent.
Okay. So ni wale analikuwa kwa nyumba na anaingia straight bed. Anaenda kulala kwa king bed.
Unajua wengi hajasikia muziki kipigwa. Like I think most people have heard Bien singing on YouTube and
live is a different animal.
But then if you've never experienced him live, I want you to come out and experience him live, because
it's totally different.
You will be mad at your TV. Why didn't you give me such good quality? Like, you have to come out and experience him live.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
And we've watched him live. I mean severally. I mean, we're going back to 2016 when you guys first came, right?
Oh. No, it wasn't 2016. It was 2013. Ilikuwa Vegas. 2013, 2014. Yeah.
No,
ilikuwa Vegas.
Maryland.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, Maryland.
Maryland was 2016.
Maryland was
maybe it was 2015 because ilikuwa 2015.
No,
ilikuwa
it was
ile place inaitwaje? Ilikuwa Langley.
Ile ya Langley.
It was in Langley Park, yeah. I think it was 2015.
Mimi ndio nilikuwa dereva combo, muache stories zenyu. Mimi I'm done with remembers.
16 I lived in Arizona.
So you see,
and when they came,
ulikuwa hapo bado. So most likely it was 2015. So unaona, yani hii kitu imetoka mbali, hii safari imewatoa mbali mpaka pali tumefika. In fact, I remember that time there was a picture where it was taken, ilipigwa mimi, Jabali Africa alikuwa kwa hiyo picha, and then Muzi na Justo walikuwa kwa hiyo picha, and then pia mimi nilitokea kwa hiyo picha, na hiyo picha ikatokea kwa gazeti.
Ulijipox?
Mother alinipigia simu akaniuliza, wewe kwani umeanza kuimba squeeze? So I don't even seen it.
Msanii opportunity ilipotea hapo. Ungedanganya watu wewe ni producer mkubwa huko.
Na sasa hii ungekuwa na album cut 3.
Anyway, wacha tusi lose focus hapa. Now, US tour, it kicks off tomorrow in DC's Howard Theatre. I mean, of course, the tour is going to be on a tight 12-day schedule. We are talking Boston, New York, Atlanta, Cincinnati, Minneapolis, Dallas, and of course it ends in Seattle, Washington. Seattle is becoming a true Kenyan stronghold. Yeah. It's actually now competing with Dallas.
It's actually the only show that's now sold out already.
Like, oh my goodness. So Seattle is already gone.
Hata msijaribu. Kama una tikiti Seattle, just stay at home.
So my goodness.
Maybe
I did not even know.
Try a neighboring state.
Try a neighboring state. I don't know. I don't know the geography of America, but I know Seattle is on the other side. So
so it will be people on the West Coast.
Everyone
up and
on the
down,
West Coast went to Seattle.
Yes.
Shout out to everyone, but like the ticket sales are so good. Even the promoter who I'm working with,
Yeah.
Due concept,
Yes.
is really, in shock at how Kenyans are showing up.
Okay.
So like, imagine pre-sales
Yes.
are already above 70% in every other, venue. Some at 90%, like at Dallas. The Boston is also 100%, it's fully sold out. So
Wow.
we're really like.
So
Kwa hivyo
Why in
DC
New York?
wana
I feel
lag
like
behind
it's a
kidogo.
good thing
Yeah.
because guys,
Yeah.
for a long time our music had been relegated to dingy bars.
Okay.
Now the last tour Sauti Sol did was iconic for us because it took our music now to these venues.
Okay.
But those shows were still on
Madaraka
weekends,
Festival.
The Madaraka Festival.
Yes.
Yeah, shout out to Saimo because he took a gamble and we took those shows to proper music venues.
Yes.
Now the next step is to turn our touring business into an everyday business and bring our shows to Wednesdays, to Thursdays. And Seattle is the first to sell out, and it's on a Monday.
So Apple, this is quite interesting.
And we have to start consuming our music the
Yeah.
same way other cultures consume their music, where it is part of their lives. They don't go to concerts to get drunk. They go to experience
Wow.
art.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that is interesting because miacha niseme ukweli, I was one of the first people tuliona hizo ads, nikaona DC Wednesday, nikauliza tena hii ni mambo gani hapa. Unajua pia si Kenya tumezoea hizo show za weekend. Friday, Sato, worst case scenario maybe Sunday.
Yeah.
Mimi nikauliza, hapa kwani kunaendaje? Ni kwa nini tunaekewa show Wednesday? Sasa hapa ndo Omosha akaanza kunichanua because I think it's also important to be schooled. Omosha akaanza kunichanua, unajua as an artist, when you get to a certain level, like even when you look at a lot of American artists when they're on tour, a lot of shows are done in the middle of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and
the
people
same
go.
audience that comes to watch Kenyan artists in the weekend will go
Correct.
and watch Beyonce on a Tuesday.
That's true.
I went to watch Kendrick last week. It was on a Thursday.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and people have, we need to get our music that's been relegated to just those weekend things and make them weekday activities. Touring is, I don't have time to be in America for me to be able to do, for example, the 8 shows I'm about to do.
Yeah.
I would have to be in America for like 3 weekends.
Yeah.
For 3
Well,
weeks.
10 weeks.
Or something
Yeah.
like that. If
Yeah.
I
It'll
was
be about
playing on
10
your
weeks,
weekend.
Yeah.
depending on which days you get, or 5 weeks, right?
Yeah. But there's no need, man, guys. Let's come on a Wednesday and then we start on time.
Yes.
And we finish on time. And then you can still have a productive day the next day. You can go to work like a normal person, but the previous day you had an amazing concert experience. You brought some friends, you brought people from other cultures to come and experience our culture, and see what we are about musically.
Okay.
So it's a beautiful exercise
Okay.
that it has to be broken now.
No, that's quite interesting, and it was quite a learning experience also for a lot of us who are fans of Kenyan music, who follow Kenyan music, who want to see Kenyan music grow out here in the diaspora. Na unajua pia umetaja Due Concept, he's done a very amazing job.
Yeah.
But unajua, like hapa ni the people's kamkunji, so mi nitakwambia reality ya what people have been saying on the side.
Talk to me.
Mi nakwambia tu kweli hapa. This was not even on the script, but vile umemtaja Due Concept, mi ndaongea tu hapo kweli. He's done an amazing job. He's done an amazing job promoting this. So a lot of Kenyan promoters are asking, niaje umetuacha matani? We've been here with you, we promoted the shows for you for a very long time. Ni vipi yani, how is it that
Yeah.
we are not being involved on this one? So maybe just to help them understand, although a lot of the promoters have already been promoting this show.
They have.
Yeah.
But listen, all those Kenyan promoters have already been promoting this show. I want to say thank you to them. I won't forget where we come from and how we've grown together over the years. But guys, I need you to grow with me.
Okay.
That's true.
Because guys, I'm trying to take this music to another level. I'm trying to take our music and put it in no, there's no Kenyan promoter who has given me the offer Duke has given me. Let's start from there.
Okay.
Even if I'm to speak as a businessman
Okay.
and I have bills to pay and I have hard costs in my life
Okay.
that
Fair enough.
have to be paid, right? So Duke is the first person to come out with 8 cities and make it make sense financially for me.
Okay.
So let's start from there. Every other Kenyan promoter was asking me to come and do one show. Unaweza kama upige show Jazzy? Unaweza kama upige show wapi? Second, our promoters don't like to adhere to the rules that I have for myself as a live performer.
Okay.
Yeah, me, I won't play in a bar. I'm past those things.
Oh, very interesting.
I'm past that level of playing in multi-purpose halls. I can't do that anymore.
Basement your church.
Yeah, I can't do those. Yeah. So if I'm going to do something, I have to play in a music venue. People go to music venues to watch music. That's a place that's been curated for sound. So that we can, as a bare minimum, we can have a beautiful experience from the user
Yes.
and the artist.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
So I think
So when I
that's-
look at those
yeah.
things, I've not seen any Kenyan promoter who has given me that, except Simon last time.
Okay.
And I tried doing this tour with Simon first
Yeah.
before I went to Duke actually.
Okay.
Oh wow.
So I did try with Simon, but we weren't able to make it work.
Okay.
And so I had to go to another place because I have to tour still, guys.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. So promoters mmesikia, you can drop
Challenge.
your comments pale below. We are live on YouTube. I think the Facebook stream is still facing some challenges, but you can come on YouTube. Let us know what you think. Please type your comment. Let us know. Bien mwenyewe amezungumza. DJ Moshfire, I just want you to react to what Bien has said, because this thing has been subject to endless debate. Like we're in a lot of those groups, and it's been subject to endless debate. So maybe 1 or 2 minutes, just tell us what you feel about, because what Bien has summarized has answered questions that have been debated. I think tukiandika hizo debates, they could even fill 100 pages.
So Bien Asante, karibu to the show. So this, I'd say we have a lot of people who talk kitchen politics, so to speak, right? But at the end of the day, like Bien has said, it's a business. He's a businessman. And then also someone has to see what is the big picture. Where is he going with this? And I'll give you guys Ntawaibia Mtiani. Back in the day, when I had a conversation with these guys, and I asked them a simple question. I said, where are you guys going as a group? Or where do you guys see yourselves headed? And the answer I was given, I think it was Fancy Fingers who told me, he said, us guys, we want to win a Grammy. That's what he told me.
Wow.
Nimedanganya.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Did you guys win a Grammy?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's done that. He's a Grammy-winning musician. You want to relegate him to a bar?
So this is
Because I've been seeing the tours
yeah.
that have been happening.
Yeah.
I've been seeing the tours that have been happening within the sphere of our artists. None of them has been in a music venue.
Wow. I mean, sasa hata sijui niseme nini Mika.
No, and to add to that, and this has been a conversation that we've been having so many times and arguing with so many people, and we've told people that at some point we have to look at our music from the aspect of understanding the business of music, not just music itself. And in that, if you opened a kibanda right now and you wanted it to be a supermarket, you'll have to pump money into it. So you can't expect that an artist is growing, investing into themselves, and then when you want to do business with that artist, you're still approaching them how you approached them 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago. Because in yourself, as whatever you as a promoter, an investor, or anything, you also want to grow. You also want to be known as the promoter who bring big parties, as the promoter who holds parties that people know they'll get their value for money. And if you're looking to get value for money from that business you're investing, the artist also has to get value from that business that you're giving it to them. So it's a symbiotic relationship that basically means do things right? Legally, financially, right? And just any other way that you're dealing with people. You cannot say you're bringing an artist from Kenya. This is an artist who has aspirations, and you don't want to bring them in the correct way, right?
Even the visa conversation,
yeah.
Like my O1 visa costs $18,000, guys. Which promoter was going to pay $18K for my visa?
So talk about that visa. Is it
Also,
because
I see Kenyan promoters
okay.
bringing Jamaican artists. Are the artists supposed to be pissed that they're now bringing Jamaican artists? No, I've
Okay,
seen
no.
Kenyan promoters
Good point.
amazing promoters too.
Yeah.
Mike Fracas has booked Jamaican artists time and time over.
Yeah.
I know Fully Focus has booked Davido. Fully Focus has booked Wizkid.
Mm-hmm.
So guys, we're just in a field. Allow us to also be international. No one is stopping you guys from booking international acts as well.
Okay.
You can just go and book them if you want.
I actually believe in
Respectfully, by the way, and I
Yeah.
don't even mean that with any if you can see my expression right now,
Yeah.
I mean it.
Raw
with
stuff.
love.
Yeah.
Let's
No.
grow.
I actually believe in such a situation, the artist has to be selfish, because we know the artists have been paid. The artists have been taking small money when they've been coming to America to perform to America, and those days are way done. But then also the artist has to be able to be selfish enough to get what they're to look at. If I sign this deal, how am I benefiting from this? Because it's getting to a point whereby the audience that will consume Bien's music, if Bien was here from 2016, that is how many years? This is 10 years later.
Almost 10 years, yeah.
That audience can afford any price that you put out in front of them, as long as you give them quality.
Okay.
So if you want to do shows, and if you want to do shows and you put bad quality, that audience will not come. So I don't believe you, Ali. And as Bien said, on Tuesday, people will go watch Beyonce, right? Because they know they'll get the good quality from a Beyonce show, and they will pay $200, $300 tickets there, right? But then, if you put Bien in that same location, and people see the value of it, they will pay that same amount of money. But if you put an artist in a bad location, you're devaluing him too.
Well, this is the One Mic Show. Na mumesikia. You know, this conversation has happened for a very long time, and I think it has been brought to a close.
Let's get out the kitchen, guys.
Yeah,
let's get out this conversation is happening in the kitchen. Sijui wapi. Tokeni kwa jikoni majamaa bana. Wa Nigeria wako Madison Square Garden, sisi tuko kwa jikoni.
Tokeni jikoni, wa Nigeria kwa Madison Square Garden.
Wanafanya arenas, wanafanya state farm arenas, sijui wanafanya wapi, wanafanya wapi. Alafu sisi bado tuko na numbers, wasani our audiences are what's filling up. You know
those places.
Yeah.
It's actually our audiences, yes.
By the way, Kenyans, anytime you go to a random show, you know, like hata kama ni Nigeria mekam, you know, like anyone
even
from any
rock.
country. You meet so many Kenyans, and I'm talking about here in the US.
Not even Kenyans, man. East, like I want to speak for East Africa as a diaspora.
Yeah.
The Swahili-speaking diaspora in the world is almost just as large as Nigeria as a territory.
Yes.
So we need to understand our power and work towards goals that are building. You know, our kids are going to ask us what we're doing. At least I'll tell our kids, we took it from the multi-purpose halls to music venues.
Okay.
They have to take it to arenas now.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe, you know, like just quick advice, you know, so that we can go to other issues that we want to address today. Quick advice to the promoters who are listening, because wako tuned in wote. Weko hapa wanakusikiza. Maybe what is it that they need to do, you know, so that next time, not necessarily Bien, any other, because there are so many other artists who are coming up. Yeah.
Come correct. Okay, first of all, I agree, but there's a lot of Kenyan artists who need to come to America.
Yeah.
But come correct, man. You know, there's promoters in every state.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys are going to kuungana, could bring wasanii. Kasa hii Codon Clan wakikam states. Wanaweza uwa
mbaya sana, yeah.
Codon Clan inafaa kuwa already mapromoter wameshikana, wamesema nataka kubringa wa say these are the mathematics, these are the numbers, these are the what. Yani tunataka kitu as a business too.
Okay.
Tunapata sponsorship gani, yani like tuangalie kitu as a business. Na hii touring ni big business, diaspora yetu ni kubwa, kuna chances. So
unajua noma ni nini? Wanajua hivyo lakini hawaezi.
Mika bwana.
Well, Amika atakuchoma.
Mika kwa nini unachoma bana? Tuko na mgeni. We have a visitor bwana. Behave.
Kweli tu.
Yeah, now, you know, like a couple of questions here coming from the people who are tuned in. I can see watu wengi wameingia hapa. Dynamic anasema visiting you guys in DC soon. Karibu sana Dynamic.
Welcome Dynamic.
Hapa I can see Phoenix Rising 254. Paul Nzengu from all the way from California. Anasema swali for Bien. He has said he's taking the Kenyan music to bigger places. Is he mentoring or assisting any other Kenyan artists to do the same level or access the same platforms like him? So here, a quick question to you from Pablo in California.
Pablo in California, thank you for your question. Pablo, if you go on YouTube or wherever you stream music, you can check out Soul Generation.
Okay.
Soul Generation is a record label that signed Ben Soul and Viri.
Yeah.
Also, there are other groups, Kaskazini, there. And on that mentorship level, I've done the most with Ben Soul and Viri. You can see their careers. They speak for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Soulfest, my festival, is the biggest employer in terms of festivals in Kenya. Not only artists.
Interesting.
Like it employs almost 1,000 people. And
security
that's
and all.
Security, everything. Then finally, we set up Soul Generation Publishing. We are the biggest publisher of Kenyan music. We are doing publishing for Kenyan artists. They didn't know about publishing. Publishing wasn't a conversation that existed until we started to do it. So all of these urban tone songs and the new age of artists,
Yeah.
we are publishing for them.
Yeah.
Even the older artists who didn't have publishing, we are publishing for them. So
Okay.
we are hell-bent on building structure in our industry.
Okay.
Bien, on that publishing question, because now we have the what is it? I guess publishing is with is that where the intellectual property comes in,
Yes.
then like you own it, and then you should then be getting your I guess I'd say
Royalties from radio play,
from
yeah.
wherever,
Yeah.
whether it's a US royalty entity, whether as long as you're registered and they've figured the accounts and all of that.
Yeah.
So then that goes back to Easy Swahili's like MCSK and so on and so forth. So since you guys are doing the publishing, does that mean that you guys then also are you then now pushing the monies collecting for, or you're not? You guys are not actually involved.
We are
in
collecting,
that
and we are collecting, and we are also looking for opportunities for that music to make it make sense and make it make money. So if you sign with us, we are also looking for ads for your music. We're also looking for movies where your music can feature. We're trying to make your music make sense in other places so that it makes you residual income.
Oh, multiple streams of residual
Exactly,
income.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Hiyo sawa. Hapa kuna comment ingine
And that's
inakuja.
not for artists who are signed to Soul Generation. That's for all the artists. It's for everybody.
Yeah.
So we do it for all of those people.
So round hii ukipata ile check ya 3,000.
MCSK hapana, kutoka Europe siku hizi.
Okay, na kuna hapa comment ingine kutoka kwa Frank Wesonga. Frank Wesonga
DJ
anasema
Frank,
DJ Frank anasema US Kenyan promoters based here in the US, if we were contacted well in advance and given clear terms and conditions, I'm confident we could have met them and delivered all 8 cities as requested, but that's in hindsight, and I think pia usha explain kitu vizuri. So
if
I
there
mean,
was intention to bring me, where are the emails from them? If there was intention, like it's not. I didn't ask to come out on tour.
Yeah.
Like there also has to be some intention.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't want this to become a back and forth, guys. It's
Okay.
not helping anybody.
Okay. Yeah.
So Frank, you saying that you could have is
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
yeah, man. It's okay. You could have then you could have, because I've not received any emails or communication from people inquiring for bookings and coming correct. When Simon Okello is having a conversation with me,
Yes.
he comes to Nairobi, he comes to my house, he tells me, bro, I have this and these dates.
Okay.
Are you free? Yes. Okay, how do we make this work? And we figure that out.
Okay.
So I've done business like that before.
Well,
It's not the first time.
Well, I'm glad that there's clarity on this issue, and I hope people are taking notes, because we have BN is just getting started. Yeah.
So wakijipanga wanaweza rudi. Kuna next year na hizo miaka
Me, I'll be touring for the
zingine.
rest of my
Bien is a
life.
businessman.
Yeah.
He's ready.
I'll
I
be
know.
touring for the rest of my life.
He's ready.
Okay.
And
So
Yeah.
wamesikia.
if you're ready, we work. If you're not ready, somebody else is going to take up the bid and I'm going to work. Because
Okay.
I have to tour, guys. I have to pay my bills. I have to live my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aya, sawa. And of course, you're tuned into the One Mic Show. We of course have BN in studio, spitting some gems and, answering questions very candidly. Any question, to be honest, we debated whether we should ask you this question, but I'm glad you made it easy for us, and this information is out now for everyone to know. Now, hapa DJ Katz anasema 18K, noma sana. We Kenyans, we need to pull up our socks. All Kenyan events, we need to put a minimum fee of $60, and we Kenyans, we have to support. And then Pablo anasema si huku California, Bien atatupatia extra pressure, so atupange pia sisi alete show huku please.
Akiwa light, and I really wanted to go to Cali, to be honest.
Yes.
But you see, also the tour was routed according to how my streaming is
Oh,
performing in America.
Wow.
that is interesting.
Did not know that.
Watu wa Kenya wanapenda
I wasn't
Okay.
able to make a stop in Cali because it wasn't high up there in where my streamers are from.
Kwa hivyo watu wakali.
So a lot of our
Wamelalia
community
masikio.
iko kwa
Yeah.
East Coast.
Oh, interesting.
Lakini
Interesting.
California mazela same so tulienda Cali ilikuwa poa sana.
Correct,
And
yes.
Because hiyo schedule yako, I was wondering, Cincinnati inatoka wapi? Unajua kuna
Hata
cities
mimi
zingine.
Cincinnati by the way.
wa Tanzania.
Na Cincinnati-
Yes, yeah,
Watanzania.
I know kuna Watanzania wengi
Cincinnati
huko.
iko kwanza
Wabongo.
Cincinnati
Yeah.
nilikuwa naangalia karibu 70% sold out manze, na niko like wow man, mimi sikuwa najua Cincinnati,
Yeah.
sijaenda Ohio mimi.
wa Tanzania.
So by the way, unaona, those are the things, because to me I was looking at it, I was like, this is not a touring city.
The math was not mathing.
Yeah, I mean, mimi nilikuwa
agree,
naona
I
hizo
agree.
zingine naelewa, Dallas, Atlanta.
Yes.
Those ones I get, but
Yes.
niko na
Yo, jenda
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, si ndio?
No, actually nishaenda.
Wenda
Yeah,
huko.
yeah,
No,
no,
naenda for
yes,
work.
he had family there.
Yeah,
at one point.
No, actually, I had family in Mansfield. Mansfield is like a couple of hours away from Cincinnati, but I've been to Cincinnati for
But
work.
ujenda
Interesting
Cincinnati
city.
sherehe.
Bila sijenda
Sa-
sherehe,
hiyo ndo
nimeenda
vile-
kazi.
wendo una assume hivyo. Cincinnati kuna Watanzania wengi na
Oh,
Wakenya
sasa hiyo
wengi
sikujua.
pia.
Hiyo
So it
sikujua.
explains the streaming. Actually,
Yeah.
that makes
Yeah.
quite a lot of sense
So you
when
see,
you look at the
even
city.
our decisions
Yeah.
on how
Yeah.
on how we plot out our bookings
Yeah.
Yes.
is not data driven.
Wow.
You see, if we want to make decisions on how artists are going to tour,
Yeah.
it needs to be a data driven conversation.
Sio
Okay.
kusema huku kuna
Si ati
Wakenya
kusema,
wengi.
kuna Wakenya wa Kenya Boston,
Yeah.
kuna Wakenya wa Kenya
Wako wengi wanakungoja.
Eh,
Wanakungoja
kuna Wakenya kila mahali.
Eh.
The place yenye iko more centrally placed ndio watu wakuja from different places nini ndio tunafaa tukuwa na converse around streaming.
Okay.
Where do your streams come from? And the good thing is right now people are able to get that data to the T
Okay.
because of artificial intelligence, how the records of how people bought tickets last time.
Yes.
We have all that data to help us make those decisions.
Kwa
So
hivyo
even
si-
if you want to promote
yeah.
and if you want to continue being in the field of promotion, we must rise above now
Yeah,
and
big
get into
data,
the
yeah.
data game. Our show in Toronto last year
Yeah.
Mhm.
was booked by a Chinese promoter. You remember the guy? Was booked by a Chinese promoter.
Wow.
I asked him. Also that the Canada tour was paying us double what America was paying us.
Huh?
And I asked this guy like, how did you know about us? And he was just like, well, I looked
Data.
you guys up. I have your data. I know how people are streaming. Blah blah. Basically, aliangalia tu streams.
Aliangalia numbers.
Na yeye ni
It's
businessman.
business.
Hata
It's business. It's
hatujui-
not personal.
He's never even heard our
So
song.
that data is available to anyone.
Well, to
It's
people who are in the business, I mean,
certain
if you're in the
people,
business
yes.
of radio, then you must have data for radio.
Yes.
Right.
In the
Yes.
business of, you must
Okay.
find a way of getting the
Yeah.
data.
Okay. Aye.
That's
Wow.
just, you can check. Yeah, I think you can check, but things
Yeah,
like
yeah,
streams,
if you have the
Spotify-
YouTubes,
Spotify can show
you should check. Yes.
YouTube can show you
Yeah,
insights.
yeah, the numbers
like you
are
can
there.
see all those insights. They're not secrets.
Aya.
Because
Okay.
they're numbers that are very public. Your Spotify numbers are your Spotify numbers.
Correct. Yes.
There's nothing like that's public about them.
Aya, promoters, DJs, meskia. So let's
Ati use data.
yeah, use
Lakini kusema
data.
kweli aliati wewe utafanya tu na data wewe you'll book nini na data wewe.
No, unajua mimi si
Unaendelea
promoter.
kufanya venye unafanyanga.
Yeah.
Just be aware that kuna data inatumikanga
Yes.
just
Yeah.
be aware. Hatusemi
Yeah.
sasa kila kitu sasa ni tumeingia kwa hesabu sijui mani. Hapana.
Yeah.
Watu aware.
Unajua ni
Yes.
nini? Unajua mtu ameapply for one visa
Yes.
ama anajua vitu zoitisha kwa embassy.
Correct.
Na atakuwa anajua pali pa kwenda.
Unajua kuna watu hata wajui hiyo for one visa ni nini. Maybe useme pia hiyo ni nini.
Basically ni unakumbuka kuna time
Yeah.
back in the days when we used to say nani amechomea msanii wa nani hawezi kuja.
Correct.
But kumbe ni visa wrong alibukiwa.
Amekuja na
Yes.
visitor visa.
Amekuja na visitor
yes.
visa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have been
Okay.
the business one.
Yes, it should have been the business one.
Yeah.
The one sasa unaona hiyo.
Yeah.
So now the issue is
Hata
that
P1 to your performance.
Yeah,
Hata
so-
sisi kwa one.
Yeah.
so the issue is that if you apply for those visas, you know what they ask for. And
Okay.
you know when they ask for, you know what to look for. And as you said, evolve with the times. Awezi kuwa yes when ni promoter mnoma Umosha na kujua Mika na kujua OneMic na kujua nani na kujua, but then unaweza angukia market yenye ni wazungu wanapenda hiyo ngoma na juu vile amesema data evolve with the time. Like basically you have to evolve with the time. So the
Okay.
thing is, I hope people who are in the business of hearing from an artist and the artist is not shy about giving them information what they need to look for, not to do.
And unajua ndo one of the reasons why I like BN, because BN yani ukifikiria kuna topic yani hata ongea yeye ataenda mpaka afike kwa neighbor. But
I thought ulisema alikuwa kwa bedroom.
hiyo hapo ni kama umemkaribisha kwako. Ukimkaribisha kwako wewe utakuwa umetoka job na kuja kulala, then unamkuta yeye ndo yuko kwa king bed.